Program was taped in living color and brought to you in mono. Please do not adjust your set.
I could go once a day for about an hour. She wanted 3 times a day.
There's a time and place for this kind of thing.
Baby, I love you more than anything else in this whole world.
She got to have, boom!
Oh, yes, thank you. Have you ever noticed how a kid will eat the middle of an Oreo first and save the chocolate cookie outside for last? We find the most memorable, outrageous, compelling moments of the talk shows and bring them to you. Just those moments in a 1-hour weekly wrap-up show called the Weekend Edition of Talk Soup. Welcome, everybody. Good show for you today. Greg Kinnear back with you. In a moment, Eddie Munster talks about a childhood trauma. A human porcupine explains why he enjoys sticking needles into his spine. And get ready to shake those maracas. Charo's back in town. Oh, she's... Little sting. Gets me every time. Tough show for you today. In fact, let's all just take a quick... And we're letting out. We're letting in? No, we're not. No, we're not. We only do it once. Nice try. Good show today. This guest from the Mo Show says he gets really, really turned on when women smash pies in his face. Hello? Loser. Not donuts, mind you. Not ding-dongs or ho-hos or snowballs or Twinkies. None of the pastries that most normal folk associate with sexual arousal. We're talking pies here. This guy is, he's a little weird.
I don't know when this exactly happened, but I took pies in the shower with me when I reached about the age of 18. You have to watch out because the crust can really mess up the drain. And then I kind of found people to pie me throughout my early adulthood there, and as I...
You found people to pie you?
Yes, I did.
I mean, well, did you just go up and say, could you throw this pie in my face? And,
well,
I mean, it's a fun thing to throw a pie in someone's face, I think. I haven't never done it, but...
It is fun, though
And then it serves your purpose as well.
It's fun, but there's a lot of other things that go along with it, and then I decided that I would just go out and start asking people to pie me in nightclubs, and I've been pied by 800 women, actually, from doing it that way.
Really?
And I turned it into an installation, and I turned it to an actual performance art. I call it pie-formance art.
Looks like a piece of cake to me. Thank you, folks. I'll be here all this week. I'm Greg Kinnear. Mike has had cakes thrown in his face as well, but says it's just not the same. Later in the show, one of Mo's other guests lit Mike's candle by saying these few simple words.
I'm going to smash a pie in your face.
Okay. Monday on the Mo Show, get to know some female sex moguls. These ladies are making it rich with their X-rated shenanigans. Well, hey, different folks, different strokes. That's what makes the world go around. Tanya's only been married for 7 months, and already she wants a divorce. She claims she only got hitched in the first place because her mother approved of her husband, and that was a huge mistake that she's regretted ever since the day she put on his ring. Naturally, Mom is a bit upset over the whole situation. Here now is proof, a highlight from the Sally Jesse Raphael show.
Here's the letter. You want to hear this letter? I didn't write it.
Sure,
she did.
Sure.
This is to her husband, before they were married. Now, I forced this girl to write this letter. I had a gun to her head, please. Baby, I love you more than anything else in this whole world, and I need to be close to you, and I wish we could be right there. I wish I could be right there, because if I could, I would. There's no one else I want. You're the only one for me. My heart totally belongs to you. I mean, this is somebody who doesn't love this kid, never did.
I
forced
didn't
her to
know
marry
him.
You didn't know him. She knew him.
I thought
2
that it
years
was somebody
before. And went out with him, and then...
Can't I just be 18 years old and not know
yes,
what I
Tanya,
want?
but I wasn't the one who came to me and said,
I don't
wanna
love
be
him. I
married.
want to be happy with someone that can make me happy.
And
I don't know
that
who
makes
it
you
is.
happy.
No, I want to be
So
with
why are you
whoever
living
it
with
is. I'm
him?
not looking for
Wait.
anyone. I just want to
Oh, yeah,
graduate
she moved
high
out of
school.
my house just before
No,
Christmas.
I didn't
This was
move
a
out.
great
She kicked
Christmas.
me out.
I didn't kick her out.
She took my car away. She punished me because I wanted a divorce.
Can we get a sedative for Mom there? Nice to see that mom support. Tanya's grandmother is, in fact, actually on her side about all this. Later on, she actually called up the show live and put in her 2 cents.
I can't believe this is happening.
Neither can
Whenever
I.
my daughter, any one of them, was in trouble, my husband and I gave them 100% support.
Ma.
We do not stick up for son-in-laws first.
I'm not sticking up for
Wait, Pamela, wait a minute, Pamela. Wait. You stick up for Chris, who is nothing but an actor.
Like mother, like daughter, it looks like to me. Is the caller there? On Sally's show Monday, it's part 1 of a 2-part look at teen racism, a growing problem in this country. You're going to meet kids who hate anyone who doesn't look, act, or think like them. Part 1, Monday. This week, Sonia found out that love doesn't die even when you reach those senior golden years. She met James and Faye, who you're about to meet right now. They've been married for what now? Almost 50 years, which is their... Is that diamond? Silver anniversary. They told her how they still have a healthy, active love life even after all these years.
Who initiates? Both of you? You most of the time?
Doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't matter.
Just happens.
It just happens.
Well, wait a minute now. You know, does that mean it's like the elbow over to the side?
No,
How does that occur?
It's not this spontaneous sort of thing that one associates with teenagers. But it's just taking advantage of each other's presence. And sometimes it's just the inviting aspect of somebody's nape of the neck, which triggers the imagination.
I haven't heard someone talk about the nape of the neck for a very, very long time. I'm just curious, though. You know, when you're younger, you go to Victoria's Secrets, say, you think about alluring lingerie. Do you wear Speedo bikinis? I mean, do you try to jazz things up in what you wear?
No, I don't think so. There's a time and place for this kind of thing. We're mature people. We don't pretend to be anything except mature people. And we don't go in for the business with the whipped cream or the cherries or that sort of thing.
Well, why
We don't do
not?
that. That's nonsense. Well, if it should occur to us, perhaps we would.
Excuse me, but has anyone else noticed that lately on Sonia there is some 100% purified, packed, and processed lunacy taking place on that show? Cut it out. You have. Mr. Silver anniversary at 46 years. No. Wrong again. Say I'm a little wrong man. I'm a little wrong man. Okay. James and Faye say they're not lusty types. They're more interested in caring and intimacy. Bad news here, my fellow Americans. According to a recent survey, we gained a combined total of 155 million pounds last year. I'm responsible for a few myself, I'm proud to say. Just where did all the excess flab go? Well, it's safe to bet it didn't end up on the thighs of anyone dating these next gentlemen. You see, they were the guests on the Montel Williams show, and they say they like their women one way. Thin, 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 thin.
I basically start from the legs, work my way up to the top. I like a nice firm body, definitely. You know, you can come home and you put your arms around your girl. You don't want to have to put your arms around your girl, you know. You're just going to want to have to, you know, hold your woman, you know.
All right, wait. Now, Walt, what about you?
2 letters, T and A.
DNA?
TNA.
Oh, TNA. I'm sorry. I thought you were like doing like some sort of a
Well,
genetic
DNA is
test.
important too, you know.
Huh?
They gotta have good shape, and you know, as long as it's not round. You know what I mean?
As long as it's not round. Now, wait, you know, I'm not going to bust on you here, but you
I'm
know,
a big guy myself.
You're
I know,
a big guy.
But, you know, yeah, I can still be a little selective.
So what if a woman said to you, you know, I love you, Walt, but, you know, I need you to go to the gym, you know, pump up a little bit.
That's
Move
all right.
some of that around. Is it okay?
Hey, no problem, man.
Would you tell a girl to go to the gym?
I already told her.
You already told him?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, Joe, how
I
about
go to
you?
the gym, but, I go to the gym 6 days a week, and I'm a pretty strong guy, but I could lose a few pounds myself, but I expect my girl to have a nice body herself.
Knockout body.
Yeah, right.
All right, Joe, what about you?
Montel, let me tell you, butt man 100%. When I see a woman, she gotta have, boom, a butt like an onion, man. It's gotta make me want to cry. It's gotta make me want to cry.
Kind of interesting. You know what makes me want to cry, Joe? I cry when I see sexist, chauvinistic remarks like that one. I cry when I scuff my white rhinestone-studded cowboy boots. I cry when my pencils aren't sharpened properly. I cry whenever I watch that episode of The Brady Bunch where Marcia Brady is cut from the Romeo and Juliet play. I cry when Michael Logan's mustache isn't coiffed properly on any edition of Pure Soap. And finally, I cry when we're laid out of the studio and get yelled at by E executives. That's why I cry. That's my perspective. I'm Greg Kinnear. Tuesday, Montel will be speaking to John Wayne Bobbitt to discover how he feels about his ex-wife's acquittal. Spouses will be there, heard, and watch Tuesday, Montel. Coming up, a severed head speaks alas, and some transsexual prostitutes tell you more than you ever wanted to know about their kinky vocation. Next.
Well, it doesn't work too well for me. I mean, I don't really enjoy having sexual contact with it or having other people have sexual contact with it. I don't find it disgusting or revolting because it's been there all my life, but I do find that it disturbs me if it causes emotional disturbances for me to have it.
Looking forward to the surgery to have it removed.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you prostitutes, by the way?
Well, I mean, for me right now, it's because I don't have a job and I'm looking for work.
Chelsea has a 10-year-old son. She used to be happily married to a woman. Tuesday on Real Personal, our pal Sonia Friedman, Ph.D., will be dropping by to talk about women and infidelity. Some psychics read tea leaves, some look into crystal balls. Jackie Stallone gobbles up whole jumbo shrimp at a time. Incredible as it sounds, this guest from the Bertice Berry Show has perfected an even more bizarre method for tapping into the mysteries of the human psyche. It's time to learn about the mystical powers of severed head fondling.
Well, anyway, this policeman called me to the station, and he said, get over here in 15 minutes. And I said, I haven't done anything. I'm not coming over there. And he said, yes, you are too, lady. And so I got dressed real quick, and scared pink because I'd never done anything. And I get over there, and he says, I don't believe a bit of this stuff. I'm such and such, and so I can't go for it. He said, but here's a copy. Go downstairs and bring some evidence up here. So the guy went down the basement, brought a big box up, and put a woman's head in my hand. And so the chief says, what do you get from that? And I said, heart attack. And then I closed my eyes and I said, oh, I get a man's first name and last name. I can't mention it here. And I told him I missed one letter. And that was the man. And I described him instantly. And they found this man and found that he had done many murders just as I had described. They found 3 other bodies where I told them. And one he didn't quite finish off. And she finally did identify the man that tried to kill her. And that was one of the most weird things.
Wow. Irene F. Hughes there on the Bertice Berry Show. And actually, we've had to employ the services of Irene right here on Talk Soup. Do you remember a couple years back? Man, that was crazy. It started off like a normal day, any normal day.
It's just a poster, not a roaster. What are we starting this show?
Noogies for you. Noogies for you. Noogies for you.
Oh, Greg, you're hurting me!
What?
Greg, you've dislodged my head from my body again.
Oh, don't worry, little John boy. We'll call Irene F. Hughes, the head psychic.
Is she good?
She's the best there is, silly man.
Okay. Oh, Greg, no, don't.
Bye-bye, Johnny.
Come on.
Seems like just yesterday. You were so mad at me that day. Wow. This Tuesday on Berticia's show. By day, he's Jim, your average American dad. By night, he's Janelle, a cross-dressing guy with a penchant for lingerie. Please tune in on Tuesday. Remember we found your head underneath Michael Logan's chair like 3 months later? He was so... Oh, it was insanity. When we get back to you, you're going to get to know a suicide survivor with 9 lives and witness the makings of a potential race war next.
We're going to be white power. We're the white supremacists, the members of the rebel knights of the Ku Klux Klan, and we're going to stand our ground.
Yeah,
If we have to line them all up and shoot them in one big pile.
Gossip. I was even wearing the same outfit. Amazing. Regardless of what the MASH theme song tells us, suicide is not painless. In fact, if you decide to shoot yourself in the heart, it can be downright excruciating. Mo Gaffney recently met a woman who tried to kill herself 9 different times. Ironically, it took a very powerful pistol blast to the chest to convince her that she actually wanted to live.
So what did you do?
So I knew where my mother kept her guns that she had for protection. And first I tried the automatic. And I didn't know how to cock it. And so I was trying to use it without cocking it, and I couldn't do it. So then I took the pearl handled 32, and I had seen TV enough to know that you pull the cock it back and then pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one worked.
And where did you shoot yourself?
I shot myself in the heart.
In the heart?
Yeah, people had said, hey, why didn't you put it in your mouth? But since I was a surgery clinic nurse, I had...
How kind of them to think of that. I'm alive. Get out of here.
But I had a patient, because I was a plastic surgery clinic nurse, too, because the surgery clinic nurse had different surgeries each time. And I had a patient who had put the shotgun in his mouth, and he lived. All it did was take his face off. And so he was having to have all this reconstructive work, taking off his, making a mouth, making a nose. And so I decided that I didn't want to try that way because it didn't work for him, and I didn't have a shotgun anyhow.
Wow. So, what city in the United States has the most recorded suicides, you may be wondering? Survey says Las Vegas. Tuesday on Mo's show. Hear from doctors who performed abortions and hear their stories of abuse at the hands of anti-abortion activists. This will be Tuesday. Well, if Jim Lassiter had his way, the American flag would be bleached completely white. His idea of paradise is a country with no ethnic diversity whatsoever. Naturally, he was happy to tell Jerry Springer and his audience about his particular views. The topic of discussion on this particular appearance was Mexican immigrants, and the Jimster kicked things off with this bit of dialogue.
You're going to have to look
It's like
inside
you and this
yourselves.
Mexican right here, this dirty wetback standing monkey, and this bubble lip Mexican over yonder.
Stop it. Just get control. All right, go ahead.
I wish y'all could smell and find out who the smelly one is.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Go ahead. And what goes around comes around, and I really feel bad for you guys because the way you're treating us right now is the way you're going to be treated later. So just hang on, sit by and wait. It's going to come your way.
Okay.
Well, maybe it'll hit your way before it comes ours, because we're going to be white power. We're the white supremacists, the members of the rebel knights of the Ku Klux Klan, and we're going to stand our ground.
Yeah,
If we have to line them all up and shoot them in one big pile. Do like Hitler did to Jews. Burn them.
Only the fact that we're on national television and I have some degree of dignity stops me from kicking you out of this place and never having you back on television again. You understand that, sir?
What a shame that would be, right? Jimmy there. So conducive to television, I think. Seems to fit him. On Tuesday's show, Jerry will talk to teenagers who may well be related to, well, possibly Jimmy. It's kids who want to join the Klan. Tuesday, Jerry Springer. We'll take a quick break and be back. You'll meet a housewife in heat, and Could this man be the Leonardo da Vinci of body piercing?
And you also have some piercing right now. You have
Right. Yeah, labret. I
And you've got-
have half inch.
Now those are big.
It's the year.
I'm going to do it.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I'm going to do it.
No. No.
I'm doing it right now. You're not going to stop me. Here I go.
No.
It's the quote of the week. Talk Soup quote of the week. Yeah. This week's quote of the week brought to you by Jack in the Truck. Comes from the pie man who appeared on Moe's show. Take a look at this.
I don't know when this exactly happened, but I took pies in the shower with me when I reached about the age of 18. You have to watch out because the crust can really mess up the drain.
For the complete dining experience, try Jack in the Truck, currently located somewhere on Maslin Avenue between Wilshire and 8th Street. It features al fresco curbside dining and serves only the finest cuisine that attracts all the biggest stars. Jack in the Truck, it's Greg's favorite. Open weekdays, 7 a.m. to around 2:20.
Pretty soon, we're all going to be seeing a whole lot more of Susan Powder, my friends. No, she hasn't fallen on that famous diet of hers. The fact is, she just signed, I guess with, is this true? Wow. Wow. She has just signed with Multimedia to host her own half-hour, and half-hour shows, by the way, are where it's at these days. Her own half-hour talk show. This week, she was on Larry King Live to promote that project and to talk about her fitness plan, her famous hair, and her manager.
So I went to the most brilliant woman I've ever met in my life to do one thing. I went to get people into my studio. That was my only goal. I walked in November to Rusty Robertson's office in Dallas, Texas. She is the most brilliant manager, marketer. She's just a genius. And I'm sitting like this with her, and I'm saying, listen, everybody can move. All I got to do is modify them for them. I'll teach them how to use movement and do it correctly. She said, Susan, do you know that you can communicate? I said, oh, fine. Now listen. And then she said, do you know that you have a sense of humor and that your message is good? That wasn't my deal. I just wanted to get this message out.
Was
so
your hair
Rusty
like
did.
that? Did you look like it? Yeah. Why do you comb your hair that way?
Comb, Larry, I don't comb this. What's to comb?
Well,
Why do we
why
comb
did
it?
you cut your hair, say, designed like a drill sergeant?
My hair, at this point, I wish my hair was a political statement or some kind of a social something.
Why did you do it that way?
Because I have the lousiest. Here's my hair. Here's how my hair looks like. When it even has 4 inches on it. It's thin, it's gross, it's greasy,
I
it's
just thought of something really weird.
What?
Was your hair like that when you were 260 pounds?
No, I would have been put away.
You'd have been home a lot.
Oh, no. In our society, a fat woman is one thing. A fat, bald woman, well, you've basically crossed the line.
All right, Susan Powder there. Her book, Stop the Insanity, was the #1 bestseller, I guess, for weeks. Weeks and weeks. Moving on now, Joe. Joe, what's the deal with your wife, Lisa? I mean, it's, kind of nice to know you have an active love life, but come on, does she really have to stalk you like a hunted, sniveling animal? I mean, I've watched this highlight from the Ricky Lake show over and over again, and I got to tell you, it sounds like being married to this woman is a little on the taxing side. Yes?
She's come to work, to pick me up from work in my car, and she didn't have anything on. Not a stitch of clothing. The complaint, I was driving home, and her head is in my lap, and we're... Okay, I thought, when I met her...
Johnny's probably so envious right now.
When I met her, I thought I was the man, because I could go once a day for about an hour. She wanted 3 times a day, 45 minutes a clip, okay? I've come home from work, and I have to, sneak in the house, and she jumps from behind the refrigerator with tools, and I've had a blanket thrown over my head, and she jumped to me right on the kitchen floor.
There you have it, the Ricky Lake show there. Most people in the audience seem to think Joe has nothing to complain about. This gentleman, for instance.
Yo, if it was me in that car, her head is there, I'm like,
Oh, no, it's a big, horrible, nasty car accident. On Wednesday's show, meet some people who think nothing of using their looks to get what they want. Get a load of my assets. That will be Wednesday. Wondering where to take that special someone on your next date, maybe? How about getting a front row seat for Ron Affey's infamous body-piercing stage show? Picture the young lady squeezing your hand in anticipation as Ron skewers his cheeks with a 9-inch steel nail. Or pressing close as Ron pokes an earring through his left eyelid. Up next, Ron gets acquainted with Mo Gaffney.
I come out as a nurse, a female nurse.
Mm-hmm.
I do piercing, branding,
Of
enemas,
yourself
cutting.
or of others?
Others, and I have it done to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Some I've
Branding?
seen... Pardon? Branding,
Branding?
yeah. And
that must hurt.
sometimes I follow the stories of the lives of saints. Like in one piece, I end up as Saint Sebastian at the end, which is the saint that was martyred with arrows in his body. But I do it with long spinal needles.
Right. And there's something about needles up into your forehead or something?
Right, crown of thorns. I have a Christ obsession.
Right. And now, you know where to do it so that it doesn't leave huge scars when you don't want to leave scars, right? But
No, I use
make it
new
bleed.
needles and they don't stay in.
Oh.
There's no secret entry point.
How big are the needles?
Different sizes.
Yeah.
You know, certainly not as big as a knitting needle.
Oh,
But
good.
not as small as the acupuncture needle. They can be pretty big.
Right, right. And you also have some piercing right now. You have this?
Right.
Yeah.
Labrat, and I
And you've
have
got-
half-inch
Now, those are big.
nipples. Yeah, I've been doing them for, I don't know,
Yeah.
10 years. The last 3 years, I put something bigger in every 3 or 4 months.
Wednesday on Mo Show, meet people who think abstinence makes the heart grow fonder. These folks are celibate of their own free will. Just ahead, Alvin can't stop his cheating ways, plus an encounter involving Gordon Elliott and some very frightened sheep. Bah. When you care enough to watch the very best, it's the weekly wrap-up of Talk Soup. Greg Kinnear still with you. Moving on. So far, this next gentleman by the name of Alvin has fathered 4 children with, I guess, 3 different women. This week, he and those 3 ladies appeared on the Montel Williams show, and things really heated up when they were joined by a special surprise guest.
On top of all of this, Alvin, you're a busy man. You know that, right? You are seeing someone else right now. Huh? You're seeing someone else right now?
No.
Well, as of like a day ago, you were seeing someone else.
Who?
No?
No.
Wait a minute. Can we, there's another lady that's here.
Yeah.
Is Shauna here?
Wow.
No, Mike? Shauna, could you come on out? I'll tell you what. When, you know, a guy has one child by one woman and then a child by another woman, you know, it's one thing. But when you have a child by one woman, then another woman, then another woman, and then, Shauna, where did you sleep last night?
In a hotel room?
Were you by yourself?
No.
Who were you with?
Alvin. Why'd you lie, Alvin?
Huh?
Separate beds, Lisa.
Separate beds?
Well, now you have to question the credibility of a woman wearing a Tasmanian Devil jean shirt, of course, on this, but she did say, and continue to say, that they were separate beds. Sean also had this to say about a relationship with Alvin.
Alvin and I were together for 2 years. 2 years. 2 years never?
Wait, well, how come they don't know about this?
2 years?
Where was this 2 years at?
2 years? We were together off and on for 2 years, excuse me.
And believe it or not, Alvin has, oh boy, he's been fooling around with another woman named Rhonda, and apparently she is currently pregnant with his child as well. So this was just insanity. On this Thursday show, Montel meets a woman who was arrested at her own wedding. She blames the embarrassing incident on her jealous ex-husband. Well, CBS This Morning reporter Gordon Elliott is still roaming around the outback, getting into all kinds of trouble these days. This week, he dropped by a sheep farm in Martuna, Australia, and spoke with some of the hired help there. Here he is now learning that ABCs of sheep shearing, or actually, it's not the ABCs of sheep shearing as much as it is the CBSs.
We're going to whip this off.
Hey, Gordon.
And, yeah.
Yeah, Mark and I have known for years that if you put us on our tails, we can't move either.
Well, the alternative is if you don't get this done right, you'll end up as mutton chop. I've got a surprise for you. Where's my lad? Come on out here. Here, come in here, mate. I'm going to show you something. Come in here. Here we. What order? Is that my first one? Okay. We got, just while he's doing that, come outside. I've got a sheep here for you. Come out here.
Gordon, you look like you've done this before.
Oh, I've been on a property once or twice in my life. Here we go. Bring out the others. We've done a little bit of decorative work for you.
Yeah. B.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
And now if they can sing "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning," then we'll really be impressed.
Highlight of CBS This Morning there. You know, I've been doing a little shearing myself lately. This is my latest creation. It's CEO Lee Masters sporting one of my latest creations. Quite frankly, I think he looks good. Very good. Thursday on CBS This Morning, country singer Charlie Pride will be talking about his latest musical endeavors. I should have gotten the side a little cleaner, but other than that, you know, be more up here, right? Right. Hey, what were the odds that actor Butch Patrick, better known as Eddie Monster, would lead a normal childhood? My guess, personally, is not very good. We are, after all, talking about a kid who had to wear pointy ears and wolf fangs and a widow's peak wig to work every day, right? Did this experience scar Butch for life? Of course not. There he is now on the Vicki Lawrence Show. Take a look at this.
Didn't you go down to Daytona Beach with Grandpa or something?
Yes, about 4 years ago, Al and I terrorized Daytona Beach during spring break for about 8 days with Budweiser, and Al Lewis with all those thongs. Unbelievable. And I had to follow him on stage after he'd do his bit, and I was like, what am I going to do after this? You know, the man's 85 years old, and he's chasing girls 2 at a time.
Oh, wow. So he's an old horn dog.
He's an old horn dog. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, listen, it'll keep you young.
It does.
You have a really funny story, too, about going shopping with your mom in your makeup, which I love.
I had, before the show was on the air, we had done 6 or 7 episodes, so no one through the TV set knew what the Munsters were going to be like. And I went off the lot one day with my mom shopping, and she left me in the car to go into Bullock's or something, and I had this hairpiece and these ears on, and people were walking by, and they started looking at me. Well, by the time my mom got back, there was like 30 people around the car pointing at me, and I'm hunched down. They thought like I was some kind of a dog boy or a canine person. And they had no idea who they thought I was the weirdest kid ever, you know, going to a parking lot.
They're going to sign you up for the circus.
Mom, come get me! I'm never going off the lot again.
It's Dog Boy.
It's Dog Boy.
Highlight of Vicki there. Butch now makes a living performing stand-up comedy, and quite frankly, I'm howling just thinking about it. Thank you. All week. Here all week. Thursday, Vicki invites guests to get away from the snow and enjoy a vacation on the beach. Getting that warm, fuzzy feeling just thinking about it. That'll be Thursday on Vicki. Well, on January 17th, as you know, Los Angeles suffered a rather serious earthquake out here, a very serious one. We've received a number of letters from most of you people inquiring as to how we all survived and how we made out during the quake, and we appreciate that. We all did quite well. As a matter of fact, it hit, as many of you know, at 4:31 in the morning, and we taped Talk Soup, a little-known fact here, 3:45 a.m. every morning we rolled this show. So as you might expect, we were, I guess, about mid-stride in the middle of an edition of Talk Soup when the 6.6 hit. And do we have footage of that? Do we have? And fortunately, Dr. Kravitz went on to say that the operation is reversible. Coming up tomorrow, Bertice, we'll be checking. Easy. People. Here's a flashlight. Check the high current compensator. Make sure the auxiliary loop has been calibrated. Go! Check the light over there. Water contaminated. What do we do? Bottled water. Ration it out with the rest of the soup layers to start boiling on the second floor. Keep your wits about you. Finished lasagna. Minute 20 seconds on high. Go! Greg. Easy. Hush, people! You
Get some chili beans, Tom.
Oh, I like food.
Tomorrow on Bertie, she'll be talking to neighbors who love...
30.
This is the weekly wrap-up thing. Batteries not included. Continuing now, besides being a fire hazard, spraying perfume on your light bulbs is a great way to improve your love life, as it turns out. This is just... this is just one of the many tips you're about to hear from romance author Ellen Creedman, who shares the following highlight from the Sally Jesse Raphael show, her thoughts on all of this. Here she is transforming an ordinary bedroom into a somewhat steamy pit of passion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Talk Soup. Clip of the week. Oh, there.
You can put this anywhere you want in the room, and I think it's great to rent if you want the adult movies, but why not star in your own movie and watch yourself? Then we've got a red light bulb. You have no lines, no wrinkles. I promise you, when you put this in your lamp, you create the most beautiful, romantic atmosphere. And if you take your favorite perfume or cologne and you spray it on the bulb, and then when the lamp heats up, the whole room fills with the fragrance. We've got chocolates so that we can feed each other. We've also got a book of love poems. I'd love to see couples turn off the TV tonight and say, you know what, I'm turning you on instead. And then we've got a rose. People think you need a dozen roses. You don't. One rose, take off the petals, and put them all over the bed, and look at your mate and say, you know what, I've always wanted to make love to you in a bed of roses. Or you can say, life has been a bed of roses living with you. Then we've got a stereo, again, to add to the music. All day long we hear the sounds of the city. What we want to do is hear some beautiful soft tones. We've got flowers, we've got champagne bucket. You don't need a champagne bucket. You can take a regular ice chest, fill it with ice, and put your favorite drink in there, apple cider, wine, it doesn't matter. And I think the most important thing, now that we have changed this bedroom into a boudoir, and we have actually had a couple go from mommy and daddy to lovers, is to put the do not disturb sign on that door.
Speaking of disturbed, hey, the laundry basket on the floor was a nice touch, huh? Nothing spells romance like a smell of dirty, soiled sweat socks, I don't think. Well, on this Thursday show, Sally's going to meet a woman whose husband disappeared mysteriously and was later proven to be an international spy, the spy who loved her Thursday. Michelle was all of 12 years old when she lost her virginity. She's been sexually active ever since. As you're about to discover, 1993 was a very busy year for this teen. Although she's just 13 now, she's had relations with a number of different partners that have earned her a new nickname. You'll find out what that is in this highlight of Montel Williams. Take a look.
What do you need so many men for?
Well, all the guys that I've been with, they haven't fulfilled my needs. They couldn't satisfy me. Like, I wanted to go longer, and they couldn't go longer. And my nickname is the Energizer Bunny.
Oh, really? Why?
Because I keep going and going.
You are 13 years old. 13 years old. I mean, aren't you worried about are the men that you're dating or guys you're dating, are they men or are they boys? Are they people your same age?
Well, they're like 17, 16.
17 and 16. And you go out, do they take you out on a date?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, wait. Now, both you and Melody, you're friends, right? You hang out together. I know the two of you have, like, little beepers with you, right?
Yeah.
What are your beepers for?
For men.
For
So
men?
they can call us wherever we go.
So they can call you wherever you go?
Yeah.
So you give them the number to the beeper?
Yeah, I give them the number because, like, sometimes I can't have phone calls at a certain time, so I just get it on my beeper and I call them back.
And then
I can't give out my phone numbers to a lot of guys. So
And just in case, like, we ain't home or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's an emergency or something.
the two of you go to school? You are going to school?
Yeah, I got kicked out.
Again, Michelle is 13 years old. Later in the show, a concerned parent made these somewhat touching and thoughtful remarks.
I'll say this. All of you women are very hot. I would not mind going out with any one of you, especially the...
Okay. Time to move on here, friends. This Friday, Montel hears from women who are sick of watching their sisters sponge off of them year after year after year. Thursday, Ricky Lake spoke with women who lost their husbands to gang violence as well as some current gang bangers. Very volatile mix, as you might expect. Well, it was, and as you're about to see, Ricky had her hands full in keeping these boys and girls in line. Take a look at this highlight.
And the three of you, I want to thank you all for coming and telling your stories. I know how painful this is. So one at a time, if we can try to do that. What is an OG?
Let her explain.
Let her explain. You wouldn't know from the gun. Okay, look, keep your mouth trash. Do you want me to tell you? Trash. You ain't nothing but trash.
What did I just say?
She's a gangbanger. She just threw up her hood. What you throw up?
Oh, she didn't throw up.
What you look like
I'm not here for that, okay? Get your hair pressed and come back later.
All right, listen. Here's going to be
real courteous.
Listen. We don't need to be making fun of everybody. Let's try and hear the stories. Let's listen to one side and then we'll hear the other side. Or else we're going to remove both of you and have you talk one at a time. I want. All right.
Okay, do you want me to tell what
No
happened?
insults about people's clothing today.
Okay.
All right, we're all adults.
We're not here to fight. We're here to make peace. Amen.
Period. Amen to that.
That's right.
Friday on Ricky Valentine Makeovers. Tune in. One last highlight for you, my friends. Believe it or not, Charo, Hoochie Coochie Coos your way back into the TV airwaves next. One last clip for you, but just this one final thought.
I'll say this. All of you women are very hot. I would not mind going out with any one of you, especially the...
Thanks, Dad. You know, we were having a little fun with the earthquake earlier, but in all seriousness, it was pretty severe, and if you would like to make a donation, you can send checks or money orders to the American Red Cross of Southern California Earthquake Relief Fund, KNBC-TV, Burbank, 91523. And that is going to do it for this weekend edition of Talk Soup. I'm Greg Kinnear. We leave you with Charo.
Coming up next on E, it's E! News, Week in Review. I've got to put on my news voice, Week in Review. It's coming up next right here on E! Week in Review. Da-da-da-da. Where's the teletype?